Now, to get the latest updates, we are now joined by Mercy Wijaya, who is coming to us live from the G20 Summit in Bali, Indonesia. Hi, Mercy. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. So just tell us, what was on the agenda today for the first day of the Bali Summit, and what were the key takeaways?
Krishna, today the President of the Republic of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, along with other 17 head of countries and 3 head of delegations, had 2 working sessions. The first working session was at 10 a.m. local time, and during the session, the world leaders were discussing about food and energy security. The government has not announced the result of the discussion yet, but at the opening of the session, President Joko Widodo gave us insight about the background of the topic. President Joko Widodo said that fertilizer problem should not be underestimated. If we don't immediately take steps to ensure sufficient availability of fertilizer at an affordable price, then 2023 will be even harder. The current high food prices could escalate into a food shortage crisis. At the second working session, the topic was about global health infrastructure and architecture. It was started at 3 p.m. local time. At the opening, President Joko Widodo announced the success in establishing a pandemic fund during Indonesia's presidency in 2022. Indonesia has committed $50 million, and the total funding from more than 20 countries and 3 philanthropies was 1.4 billion US dollar. This pandemic fund should be used for investment in healthcare industry, so the world must not repeat the mistake of the COVID-19 pandemic. The result of the working sessions during the G20 Summit November 15 and 16, 2022 will be announced tomorrow afternoon after the closing of the G20 Summit after 3 p.m. and we are looking forward for the result. Krishna.
And the sessions are still ongoing, but also, as you said, Indonesia has vowed to deliver concrete deliverables, and something that you mentioned there, the pandemic fund, is one of them. Now, of course, the G20 Summit is a gathering of many of the world's largest leaders, or biggest leaders, I should say. One of them is U.S. President Biden and China's President Xi Jinping, who last night held their first face-to-face meeting in 5 years. What were the results of that meeting, Mercy?
That's true, Krishna. Yesterday was the first time President Joe Biden and President Xi Jinping held their first face-to-face meeting after Joe Biden inaugurated Inauguration Day on January 2021. After a 3-hour meeting, Biden at the press conference last night said that he had an honest and candid meeting with the President Xi Jinping. Regarding bilateral issues, Biden stated that he and Xi Jinping were defending their respective national interests. They were going to be fiercely competitive, but they are not looking for conflict. Biden and Xi Jinping meeting did not produce a mutual statement. However, after the dialogue, Biden said that he would send Foreign Minister Antony Blinken to Beijing. That's all of our report from Nusa Dua, Bali. Back to you.
Okay, Mercy Wijaya coming to us live from Bali, Indonesia. Thanks so much for your report. We'll be looking forward to more reports from you from Bali.